Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gerry Coeppicus, and I'm working to create an easier way for consumers to evaluate automotive repair shops based on technicians' certifications for the repairs to be performed. Now, automotive repair experts will state that you should ask about certifications of the technicians to determine if they have passed minimum standards for the work to be performed. In practical terms, however, that information is not readily available on any search engine or workshop website. Competitor sites such as RepairPal.com, AAA.com, or YourMechanic.com do not offer consumers any information on the certifications of technicians at the shops they maintain on their websites, nor do they verify those claimed credentials. However, they all urge consumers to check mechanics certifications. Even the Florida Department of Agriculture that regulates the automotive repair industry here in Florida has a link to the Florida Bar Association that also urges consumers to check the industry technician certifications. Now, currently, finding a shop is most likely to happen in one of four ways. With a web search, you're primarily dependent on consumers' reviews as your gauge of the repair shop and technician competence. Recommendations by coworkers, friends, or family provide you with the names that they trust. However, will you take your Tesla to a Jiffy Lube based upon your grandfather's recommendations that they do a quality lube service? FindMeMechanic.com serves to benefit four specific components of the automotive repair and aftermarket industry. It offers consumers a searchable website of verified credentialed repair shops and aftermarket service providers based upon the certifications of their technicians. It allows access for recruiters to help shops find qualified technicians from a captive verified pool of technicians. It's also a free job board for technicians to get matched with their next potential employer. And it's a marketplace for all parts, service, tools, and equipment distributors and manufacturers to highlight their offerings to the shops, technicians, and the public. So how big is the market supporting the automotive repair and aftermarket industry? Well, there were 158 million new cars and trucks sold in the U.S. between 2010 and 2019, of which most of them, sadly, are out of warranty now. Now, out of the 630,000 employed techs nationwide, only 250,000 of them have a current Automotive Service Excellence, or ASE for short, certification, and only 1,617 of them have the Certified Hybrid Electric Specialist designation. Keep that in mind when you're getting your next EV. In Florida, there are 23,000 plus active registered vehicle repair shops, and nationwide there are 234,000 plus repair shops. Now, revenue-wise, there are over $420 billion in North America for the automotive and repair market industry. Sorry about that. To further break down our top 5 industries where the mechanics are employed at, dealerships make up the most at 242,000, followed closely by independent repair shops with 223,000. And the rest are all between parts stores, local governments, and all others are varied industries. Now, our marketing approach focuses on leveraging consumer awareness of technicians by identifying the importance of their certifications. This will include work with local and state government consumer protection divisions, consumer publications, news media, and automotive journals to promote the database of verified, certified technicians as a viable consumer protection tool. Automotive trade schools will want to promote their student technician certifications by urging the technicians to register with FindMeAMechanic.com, and repair shops can easily promote their capabilities when mechanics include the shop as their employer in the mechanic's profile. Automotive service and products vendors will be able to market to a captive audience of technicians and repair shops on the platform. Some financial highlights. Our best value digital ad fee of $449 compares favorably to ePartrade, which is a parts website, whose $5.99 program is their best value for the automotive vendor consolidator website of theirs. Now for recruiters, our subscription fee of $329 compares favorably to LinkedIn, which charges $825 a month for its recruiter platform, and Indeed Hires platform, which charges 10% of the candidate's annual salary, pardon me. An initial investment or loan of $150,000 could be used for website R&D and working capital while building up our user base with ad-paying vendors and recruiter subscriptions. Over the 5-year budget, we anticipate revenues of $10 million and net income before taxes of $8 million. Our projections also calculate recovery of an initial loan or investment within the first year of operation. I believe it's a very conservative acquisition numbers, as I'll demonstrate on the next slide. Our growth is dependent on consumer visits on the website, technician registrations, recruiter and shop registrations, along with vendor ad purchases. By year 5, we anticipate 688,000 monthly unique visitors compared to AAA.com's 5.4 million, YourMechanic.com's almost 900,000, and RepairPal.com at almost 1 million visits per month. Our initial goal of 24,250 text registrations is achievable based on championing the school directors and trainers to have their students sign up. Note that in 2019, there were 32,715 students that graduated from automotive trade schools, according to TechForce Foundation. Signing up 800 vendors by the year 5 should be reachable, given that ePartrade has close to 7,000 paying suppliers on their website. Now, with 234,000 shops in the US, getting 360 of those shops or recruiters to find qualified mechanics on the platform is not stretching it. The reality is that most shops are always trying to find qualified technicians. According to another study by TechForce Foundation, the demand for new entrant technicians will be over 500,000 technicians needed by 2025. Currently, there are over 190,000 advertisements for technicians between ZipRecruiter and Indeed. Our major risks are that the competitors will try to copy us once we catch on, like Carfax did with its unique car history reports that it pioneered. Or consumers won't care enough about the certifications enough to look for them once it's available online. The upside is that this venture is not just scalable nationwide, but it is also scalable into other trades that have similar issues, such as diesel and body shop technicians, where there's several 100,000 of those too. A little bit about myself. Since my Navy days, I graduated from Florida Atlantic University with a finance degree, and I've worked for several firms, from startups through public multinational firms in positions as controller, CFO, and general manager. My board of advisors includes professionals considered amongst the best in the field. Elegio Vasquez, which is the Palm Beach State College Director of Automotive Tech, Diesel, and Marine Tech. Eric Ciccatelli, VP of Operations at MyVendorCenter.com, which was started 12 years ago as one of the first compliance verification programs for property management industry. Greg Paswowski, Master Tech Trainer at Palm Beach State College, and one of only those 1,600 technicians that's been certified on electric and hybrids around the globe. Edgar Salas, a technical college Master Tech Trainer, ranked top trainer in the nation by Audi of North America. Timothy Brown, Director of Automotive Tech, Marine, and Auto Body at Sheridan Tech. And Nick Villar, who's here with me today, Operations and Customer Service Manager, along with Hybrid and EV Conversion Specialist at the Electrified Garage in Ocala. There are many more people that I'd like to thank for their contributions, but at this point I have to stop, and I want to answer all the questions that the judges have for me. Thank you very much, everyone.
Well, you're right. That was a lot of information you provided there. And as I was trying to keep up, you're a finance guy, so I'm sure you pro forma'd the heck out of this thing to see what it's going to look like. What's your indication now of the market response?
I've been doing my consumer interviews along the way as part of my market valuation. And so far the response has been positive, but again, until you actually have a live platform, you really don't know. But it's been very positive so far.
Good. And how far away are you from having a live platform, you believe?
I've already completed the functionality diagrams with my staff, all along with, we started the wire diagram on it. So I've been told it'll be about 4 months if we continue at full-time process to get this all finished and up on the web.
And where are all the initial startup costs coming from on this?
Myself.
Okay.
And what's your additional capital need right now?
I'm looking at $150,000 total between the ongoing working capital and the software. I probably put more in there for the software than what will end up. I've been given quotes of $25,000 to $50,000, but I put in $100 for the budget only because I've gone through this in other firms that I've put together in the past, and it's always double the triple of what it's originally intended.
How are you ensuring that mechanics are signing up? What's the feed or source for the certified mechanic to enter into the database?
Sure. I previously pointed out, again, there was a lot to go over, but it's in your paperwork there. The best starting point is within the schools themselves, because all of the trainers and the directors have an incentive program to want to get their students certified and to get them jobs. So when they are going through the process of the training, we will be in every one of those schools making them aware that the website is available for them to promote themselves. And that's part of the problem right now. Mechanics don't have a way to promote themselves.
So the hurdle is getting the mechanic to opt into releasing their data to be put into the database.
Yes, so that's part of the incentive, that once the mechanics provide access to their certifications, allowing us to be able to confirm and verify their credentials, which that hasn't happened anywhere yet, only because for whatever reason, it's a process that takes a little bit more dedication to figure out how to get to that endpoint. Otherwise, I would have done it already. But my background actually is with compliance also within the community association industry and doing verification of all of the vendors' credentials. So we check their insurance coverages, we check their licenses. This isn't anything new from that perspective. I'm just adding a new database per se.
And do we have a plan of capturing the current mechanics that aren't in the database?
Yes, sir. They have continuous education, ongoing education.
Capturing them into the database.
Right. So I'm actually going to be going to an event in July that is for all of the trainers. And it's put on by ASE, which is the certifying body for all the trainers. And that's a great opportunity for me to let them all know, to the trainers there, and to the people that are looking for more training, to sign up also.
So the triggering event is additional training that's needed?
Additional training for those technicians also, aside from, I've got the database of every single shop in Florida. So far, I've been focusing on that. I also have the database for all of the mechanics in Dade and Broward County, which is thousands of them just there alone, to be able to start off with a pilot project in South Florida.
Gerry, how do you see like dealer service centers embracing this? It seemed like there was a lot of technicians that was like the #1 section.
So the dealerships happen to have an edge on the independents because of their credibility for the technicians that they have on their line. What I mean by that is the dealerships train one technician per dealership usually for the new line of vehicles. Let's talk about Audi the Audi EV vehicle right now. You go to an Audi dealership, you've got one technician that has been sent to corporate for that vehicle. Now mind you, you got all of these manufacturers that are going to be putting all of these cars into the market in the near future. For 2020 alone, we're going to have as many vehicles that are going to be produced as what we have had in the last few years. They have not caught up at the dealerships with the amount of mechanics needed to be able to work on those vehicles. I'm sure Lucid didn't think that all of their 1,000+ vehicles were going to be going back in for a recall. Their technicians were there at the Lucid location in South Florida and Palm Beach for weeks on at a time, filled with all the cars in their parking lot to work on those vehicles. The dealerships themselves have an incentive to also want to show that they have the trained mechanics. It's not a given, even though you would think that, yes, if you are selling these vehicles, you need to be trained on them. We are going through a metamorphosis right now, even within the dealership network, where some dealerships are deciding we're not going to spend $100,000+ to retool our service department to be able to work on electric vehicles in the future. And this is how this all actually came about. I had a hybrid vehicle of my own, and it was out of warranty. It was a Chevy Bolt, and I wanted to find a place to be able to have the battery looked at to see how much it would cost. Well, when I looked on RepairPal.com, when I looked on all these other sites, there wasn't a single place that told me where I could go that I would have a certified mechanic that knows how to work on EVs. The only place I could take it to, I didn't have much choice, would be a dealer. And I wanted to have other options for consumers in the future, especially as we're moving more and more into EVs at an incredibly fast pace, and we don't hardly have enough combustion engine trained mechanics to start with, much less EV mechanics. Did it answer your question?
Yeah, so it sounds like they would embrace it, and that would be a good demographic for you to target as well to help verify.
It's part of it, yes. The National Dealers Association is on my radar screen.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.